What are your benefits over other main exchanges, and do you plan on marketing and becoming the main number one exchange, or are you content with a low market penetration? Their words, not mine.
Okay. So I guess I'll take it up. So differences or similarities or differences between other exchanges. So the exchange, we are an exchange. That's correct. However, we're much more than just an exchange. So I don't believe currently on the market there's actually a multifaceted financial platform that deals with as many different financial products that we are planning to deal with. So in that aspect, I don't know. I think that differentiates us immediately. I think it allows us to get into so many other people's screens, so to speak. I think it amplifies so much. Being a crypto to crypto exchange, because many exchanges out there are crypto to crypto, limits your adoptability to about 2% of the world population. That's the estimate right now of how many people know what crypto is. Now that's probably high. That's high to how many people actually use an exchange. That might be way less than 1%. But just to give the benefit of the doubt, let's say that 2% is accurate. Now, if you add in ETF style investments, money manager investment, asset manager investments, that increases your scope to about 20 to 30% of the global population know what a asset manager is, or know what some type of ETCF, mutual fund, some type of investable securities. So right there, I think it changes the game a bit. We know that futures has changed the game a bit. Before futures came out, we had ETNs. Those are electronically traded notes. I could explain to you the difference between an ETF and an ETN here, but I don't want to bore everybody on this call more than they may be already, or on this AMA. So essentially, they're very similar. They're very similar products in most aspects. But so those type of things already exist. But to me, that misses the crypto assets. To me, are so much better packaged in other asset forms than futures, ETNs, and ETFs, something more like a mutual fund, something more even like a derivative to me would even. So there's so many other products, and these products are all things we'll be looking at, not to mention that we're going to be progressive on atomic swaps and off-chain transactions. So we're going to be offering things that these guys don't offer and that they don't want to offer, and I'll tell you why most of them don't want to offer. Atomic swaps are essentially free. So, an exchange that's currently making $2 million US a day on charging 0.2%, which is outrageous. Just to give you, I mean, again, I like to go off on tangents, so sorry about this, but just to give you an idea, another comparison to the Forex market. In Forex, 20 years ago, you would pay somewhere in the realm of 500, a million when you traded. That's 0.05%. It's 20 years ago. Or sorry, 0.5, 0.05%. Nowadays, you can get for 0.005%. That's 50 per million. Crypto charging 0.2 is 2,000 US dollars, euros, whatever, per million traded. That is insane. And the worst part is that there's no reason to charge that much money. Why? Because they're not paying liquidity providers. It's all matched liquidity. They're paying absolutely nothing. They're not even paying the makers on their exchange, which, by the way, we haven't mentioned here, but we will pay makers on our exchange. That means if you push a pending order, a limit order, onto our exchange, when it gets filled by a market order, you are paid 50% of the fee we charge. So just let that rattle around for a bit. They're not paying anything. So these type of things will definitely differentiate us. So as far as where we want to go, what our goal is, let's say, as far as market penetration. In our white paper, we talk about 1 to 2% market penetration. The reason we talk about that is because I believe, and I don't want to misquote myself here, but I believe that comes out to about 200 to 250,000 euro a day in profit. Even at that level, you're already a pretty robust business in this space. That puts you probably top 20 exchanges, because the top 3 actually do the bulk. That doesn't mean we're not going to push to have more market penetration. That doesn't mean we're not going to spend money on marketing and outreach. And that doesn't mean we're not going to expand our service list to include all types of other services over time that will expand our adoption rate and our reach. What it means is that, am I content? Am I content to have a business that is pulling in $3 million a year net profits, and that is XCM value may at that point be in the fixed figure range and not in the cent range? Would I be happy? I'd be happy. Would I be content? Maybe not. I never set a goal, because to set an ultimate goal, I set a lot of goals. I set daily goals, monthly goals, weekly goals for myself, for my companies, for my employees, for everybody. But I don't set a goal. I want to be number one in this industry. No, that's not really a goal of mine. But expanding the business and making sure that we do the best we can to make sure that we penetrate we get the most amount of market penetration we possibly can, and expand our services so that we truly are the one-stop financial shop. Again, our fees are going to turn out to be much lower than everywhere else. So a Bitfinex or another type exchange may make more money than us, but we may do a lot more volume. Because we're starting out at 0.1. Over time, that's probably going to change. So 0.1 to me is still expensive. But I have to be honest with you, I'm a transparent guy. So from a commercial standpoint, we couldn't go lower day one. We could. But from a commercial standpoint, I want to see a little bit of rapid growth here. And to have that rapid growth, we can't go so far outshot of the market. The market right now is 0.2 on average. 0.1, which I believe Binance may charge as well, is a gift right now. It's a gift. So we're going to match what they charge, but over time, it's going to go lower. So again, the Amazon type pricing schematic. What we want to do is we want to grow to the point where we can offer you the cheapest price possible and still be a profitable business with a monster market share. That's the goal.